November 1, London, Quebec, N1LQ.
Roger, LQ, and what's the name there?
W3DVX, Whiskey 3 Delta Victor X-ray.
X-ray station standby. LQ, what's the name there?
Quebec.
X-ray station standby. LQ, what's the name there?
Did you call LQ, Jim?
Yes, sir. LQ, what's the name there?
Yes, sir. LQ, what's the name there?
Hello, Jim. This is November 1, Lima, Quebec. My name is David, and I'm 20 miles north of Boston, Massachusetts. Copying you and down today between a 5 and 7 and a 5 and 9. Over.
Roger, Roger. I'm copying you up on Milford there. Looks to be about 15 over. Excellent signal. What radio are you running today, David?
15 over. Excellent signal. What radio are you running today, David?
Okay, Jim. I'm running a TS-890, TS-890, and we're running that at 100 watts, and we are switching between an N-fed half-wave and a Carolina Windham. I also wanted to acknowledge Charlie, K1GZL, up in the Clarksville area in New Hampshire. I first heard and worked Charlie long ago after he had an article written about him in either Ham Radio or Ham Radio Horizon, two magazines long ago defunct. But the article was called Charlie's Angles, and it was all about his wire antenna farm. So it's lovely to hear him on and still hear him active. Back to you, N1LQ. Back to you, Jim.
Yes, sir, LQ. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to check out his QRZ page, but it does look like a harbor. There are many masts coming up there, and it looks just like a boat harbor, but they're all antennas, Roger.
Coming up there, and it looks just like a boat harbor, but they're all antennas, Roger.
Roger, I've seen photographs of it over the years, and it is probably the most ambitious wire antenna installation I've ever seen. And being a wire antenna guy here, but with much simpler antennas, I appreciate it greatly. So we're running a TS-890 barefoot here, Jim, and I can give you the particulars on the audio if you wish.
Looking at your audio, you have a 3 dB dynamic curve. Your EQ curve is very nice, very intelligible. Not a bunch in the bottom end, but I don't hold with a bunch in the bottom end necessarily, because there's a lot can go wrong with the top end. And if you've got a bunch of bottom end, then if you lose your top by Mother Nature's phasing or whatever, then you become Mr. Mumble. So I like a little moderate bottom end, but a nice bright top end, and you have that in your curve. Now, you were talking about another antenna. Did you want to do an antenna AV?
You were talking about another antenna. Did you want to do an antenna AV?
No, I just am switching between a Carolina Windham and an N-fed half-wave for you, and you peak and dip on both of them, so there isn't one that's preferable for our contact. Very quickly, my audio setup, Jim. ALC is running slightly over 50%. Microphone is running slightly over 1/2 range. Speech processing is on at about 6 dB gain. My EQ in the Kenwood is off. It's flat, which is preferable for my voice, I believe, because I have a higher pitched voice. And my bandwidth is 100 to 2900 as you request. So I've tried to set it up in advance pretty much, I think, the way you would prefer. KC9VKV and N1LQ, back to you.
Roger, it certainly sounds like everything is exactly where it should be. It just sounds like a very nice signal, and like I say, I'm copying you on Milford at about 15 over. I haven't checked my local antenna, but if you wanted to tell me the best thing you like about your radio, I'll see how you're doing on my local antenna, Roger.
Roger. Video back in May from the original owner, and I've been using it off and on. It is a complicated rig. It's one that requires some study, both of the manual as well as I have a nifty mini manual here. But it has an excellent receiver. and I do get pretty decent transmit audio reports. It's also a very refined radio on Charlie Whiskey, so it's a lot of fun to use. I don't think I would have bought it new, Jim, because it's very pricey now. But the gentleman who owned it for about a year went into a flex radio, and I got it for a pretty decent price. So I have that here along with several others and enjoy swapping between them from week to week. So that's the rundown on the station here. We have never had a rotatable antenna, and we have never had a linear, but I've worked an awful lot of great DX over the years. KC9VKV from N1LQ. Back to you, Jim.
Roger, David. Well, really nice sound there. Like I say, you're 15 over on my Milford PASDR. Just a beautiful signal, no phasing, just constantly there. So it really sounds good. And so I'd say get the Gorilla Tape out and taper it down, sir. You've got it going on. And if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our YouTube KC9VKV Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,300 Qso-Vlogs. This will be cut number 1 in that series, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
1 in that series, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Jim. Very, very fine. You helped me with another rig last week. I had a Bulgarian transceiver called an RGO-1, RGO-ONE, and you helped me tame down the audio on that a little bit. And since I have been getting really great reports, so your commentary and suggestions were implemented, and it's worked out very well. So we'll look forward to hearing this. I've not heard it recorded before, so tomorrow it'll be a treat to hear it. And I thank you very, very much for this service. It is greatly, greatly appreciated here. 73 for now, Jim, and we'll talk to you again soon in another week. KC9VKV from N1LQ, 73, and thanks.
Roger, David. 73 up that way. We're catching just a little bit of trash off 7188, but that's the way it is from time to time. So 73, David, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'll either be on 7188 or 7185 or somewhere in there. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. There was another station in there with an X in the call sign. That other station, if you're still around, give me your call sign slowly phonetically.
Station, if you're still around, give me your call sign slowly phonetically.